Maresca has left Chelsea on mutual consent, whatever they call it. Essentially, he's been sacked, but they both shook hands and agreed and left. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Yasa TV. Happy New Year's to all my subscribers, everyone that's watching this video. I hope you have a blessed year. And yeah, man, we're into this, man. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable, bro. Let me give you a bit of the timeline. We go from obviously we've had the bad run, 1 in 7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You can see I just woke up earlier. I'm on the way to the gym. I see the news on my phone. I gotta stop and record this. Do you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop and record this. But so the timeline. Obviously, we had the poor game against Bournemouth. I ended up not really checking my phone afterwards. I was out watching the game with my friend. We ended up going home. I realized the manager hasn't done a post-match conference, and then they've said, he's avoided it because he was ill. The only thing that tells me is that the manager is annoyed. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it in the last couple of games that he's ended up going, like whether it's the co-owners, Iqbali, and the sporting directors have gone straight to the tunnel after the loss. Like, brother, like, why, bro? Is the manager a kid? Is he a kid? So we got to follow him left, right, and centre. The manager has won us 2 trophies in his first season. How about you let him off a little bit? Show him a bit more trust. I knew that was going to happen. With the whole micromanaging thing, I knew that this can be happening, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And apparently it was the things about the rotation. Why is he making these rotations? And I don't know, like, I don't know exactly why or what happened. But then yesterday we started hearing some news coming in about there's high tensions between Maresca and Iqbali. That's the main reason why, because the first news before that said he's going to be assessed. They're going to bring his assessment forward from the summer to now. If his results don't improve in January, or if the results don't improve by January, in terms of by the end of the month, then they'll consider sacking him and all that. And I was like, we'll see. But then we started seeing more news coming in saying, actually, now it's looking worse than we thought. The manager and Iqbali, that's the specific reason why there's a fallout. It looks like he might get sacked. This is all on New Year's Eve. This is all during the day from like 5, 6 o'clock onwards. Do you know what I'm saying? And at like 4 o'clock, big up to Daniel, he dropped us something in my chat saying that there's high tensions and there's a possibility of Maresca getting sacked. We heard about this from early, around 4 o'clock in the UK time. Like, if we start looking onwards and onwards, it started to get worse and worse and worse. By the time people were saying Happy New Year to each other, we started to hear the news that essentially he's been sacked. Right? Now, Maresca's told us that he ain't leaving and his contract runs all the way to 2029. I think that he's just essentially was like, listen, you lot have to sack me kind of thing if you lot don't want me. And it's one of those where he said, if I speak, I'll be in big trouble. And that's probably why he didn't do the post-match interview, innit? Like I said, I get the fact that they want to, I don't know why they want to bring the manager's assessment forward to January. I don't know why that's a thing anyway. Someone needs to explain that to me, because that doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, why would you want to bring the manager's assessment forward? Where's the sporting director's assessment? How about you bring that forward? Since they want to fix certain things that they messed up in the summer to December. By January they want to fix it. They sacked him hours or even on the same day as the January transfer window opens. He's probably found out that they weren't going to back him, because we already started hearing briefings that he weren't going to get, not necessarily not get backed, but they weren't really going to get players to back him. Oh, it's going to be a quiet window if we find an opportunity, and same rubbish left, right, and centre. I'm not necessarily annoyed because Maresca sacked him. Maresca's a good friend of mine and all that rubbish that people no. Like, what direction is the club going at? That's what I want to know now, because the manager did well to a certain extent. And some people had the argument to say that, is he going to win us the major honours? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Those are the question marks that we needed him to prove to us. That's what we needed to see from him. But we can't look at him the same way if you know that he hasn't been backed. He almost cried for a left-sided centre-back when Cole got injured, bro. He gave us all the reasons why it's special to his build-up. It's the way we play. We need someone like him, bring him up, and they said internal solutions. Another thing that came out yesterday or 2 days ago was that they didn't want to bring in a centre-back because they were worried that Acheampong was going to leave. So you based your whole transfer window stuff on an 18-year-old. You change all your plans for an 18-year-old that isn't even one of the best defenders in. Like, it's not even like he's like young Maldini or something for you to say, like, you know what I mean, he's the next centre-back, so we need to make sure we keep him. Brother, this is crazy because we've already in the past let go of Hall, Livramento, and like all these other good players anyway. So all of a sudden you don't want to... Well, he has to fight for his place. And my thing with Maresca has always been, sometimes when a player deserves to play, you got to play him, innit? Do you know what I mean? And Esteban showed that the other day. Well, as much as we have said certain things about him in the last couple of weeks or whatever before his injury and how he performed then, we still needed to have something better than that. So the sacking itself is embarrassing. Then you start looking at the news afterwards or the briefings that they're bringing out and saying that Glasnow's not on the list, or he's not someone that's being considered. Liam Reservoir, whatever they'll get, the Donny that is in Strasbourg, he's the guy that seems to be the one that... Brother, you sacked Maresca to bring us Liam Reservoir, whatever his name is, bro. Reservoir, I don't care what his name is, bro. So you sacked Maresca to get... because you disagreed with him, bro. This is unbelievable, bro. Like, you see the two sporting directors and Iqbali, they really need to check their head, bro, because this is the thing about just planning on the future and hoping exactly what you plan actually just works out. That's not how football works. That's not how football works. You need to make sure that you have, like, I don't even know how to explain this. I was thinking about this the other day, yeah. This whole thing about buying kids and all that, whatever people always moan about. I've always said, cool, I don't mind it as long as you can strengthen the main team, innit? We knew we needed a centre-back. At the time, I would say we needed a striker. I didn't mind the Gittin signing. The 49 signing, I was not happy about at all. I'm still not happy about it. My eyes bleed every time I watch him play on the left wing. But this is my thing as well, yeah? Like, the more I look at it, the more it just doesn't make sense. Do you get what it just doesn't make sense, because you could have bought a better left winger, put Gittins as his understudy, you're good. And we have an understudy on the Cucurella, that's calm. Centre backs, cool. We realise that you can't play 4th, 5th, 6th choice centre backs as starters, of course not. And the levels are immaculately worse, you know what I'm saying, than others. Like, it's so difficult to explain, but there's things that they should have just done better. Like, it's so hard to explain to people that if you just made the right decisions here and plan for the present and the future. You can't just plan for the future every single time. They keep saying that it's all for the future, for the future, for the future. We got a winger coming, for the future. Where's the winger now? I need the winger now. I don't need him next season. I don't need the winger next season. I need the winger now. Where is the winger, bro? And those are the things that I'm talking about that don't make sense. Cool, there's certain players like Dalap who hasn't performed, which everyone want to pick on. Cool, he hasn't performed, had his reasons with the injuries, blah, 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 whatever. But maybe you could have got a better striker ahead of him and then got Dalap as the backup. Cool. We knew Ja Pedro wasn't. He was just like whatever. He was the Nkunku replacement. Versatile forward. We all knew that. It wasn't like you have to have common sense to understand. Bro, it's simple. But they don't want to bring forward the assessment for the sporting directors, but they brought forward the assessment for the manager, even though he had, at least, if you want to call it, a little bit of credit in the back. Our best centre-backs are either from Cobham or we bought them before these guys came. So it's like, all the other ones, either they bought or they're not good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Cobham, I think, Chalobah's Cobham, Acheampong's Cobham, and then all of a sudden you're looking at that. I think the Sarsis is the one of them that they bought. Like, this is whatever Vivel bought them. Like, it's mad. Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense. It's embarrassing that we sacked Maresca now without actually having a good manager or a great manager to replace him. If you're gonna sack Maresca, especially throughout the season, as in the middle of the season or the beginning of the year like they done, They should have bought a manager. They should upgrade the manager, make it worth it. You sacked Maresca, make the sacking worth it. Get a manager that's either better than Maresca. Do you know what I'm saying? Then for us to say, okay, cool. Don't go and get me Liam Reservoir. That's what I'm gonna call him, bro. Liam Reservoir, who we already heard the briefing about Bluco not being happy with Strasbourg being 7th or something after spending 100 million. Now you want to bring the manager that you think's failing at Strasbourg to Chelsea in the meantime until you get another manager in the summer. Because even if you get him now, we're not happy. This is the time for people to not take anything anymore, bro. I knew that if Maresca's getting sacked, I don't care. Because a lot of people wanted this. Maresca, get him out. He's out now. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what your Donnies do now. Because remember, you just wanted Maresca out, so Maresca's out. So now let's see what the sporting directors do. Will they get you your dream manager? Will they go and get you some dinosaur, or will they get you someone that's won everything? Because that's what people were acting like. People were acting like they're just gonna get us some amazing manager, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, sack Maresca, because then they're gonna go and get us Xavi. Brother, like, these men are linking us to Liam Reservoir, bro. And this is why I wasn't getting onto the manager as much as some people are, just because it was like a cool thing to do. Like, well, you're not saying Maresca out because you said Poch out, so, you know, or you're not keeping the same energy and all that. Brother, I don't care about any of those stuff. I personally don't care. I don't care about what other people think about what I'm saying about what the manager's done and what he hasn't done. Brother, I said I'm gonna go through everything, and it's like a scale. Every time he does something right, I put it on one side, and every time he does something wrong, I put it on the other side. And then that's how I'm judging the manager. I already said that he was inexperienced. Now we have to hope that the next manager that comes in is actually a good manager, a great manager. He plays good football, because you know how people are going to moan first weekend when he comes in. He gets the best out of some of the players, because we need that as well. Is he going to be as versatile or as accommodating to certain players? Is he going to be able to get the best out of Palmer? Do you know what I'm saying? Is he going to be able to manage the injuries the same way Maresca did? Do you know what I'm saying? For the Reece Jameses, for the Fofanas. Or is he just going to be a gung-ho thing and getting everyone injured like the Poch time? Those are all the important things that no one cares about. They just wanted Maresca out. He's bold, he's Italian, he got no this, he got no that. Do you know what I'm saying? All reactionary without actually thinking. The manager's gone now, bro. Our favourite players can get injured again. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that had long injury records. If they get rushed back because the manager thinks he needs to win this and that, and he gets them all rushed back, now we ain't got no fullbacks. Now we've got to rely on the ones that you guys don't rate. Like, it's just a trickle effect. At the end of the day, the main issue is our sporting directors. The main issue is the owner, the Iqbali guy, and the sporting directors. I think Bowley had the right, I don't know how to explain it. His intentions were right. He wanted to just bring the experts after he played Football Manager and he messed up. He apologized. He tried to do the right thing, bringing in experience. We know the experience that he brought in, like Sterling Koulibaly, and that didn't work. But his heart was in the right place. He just didn't go about it the right way. And I'm not just backing Bowley. I'm not saying that he's exempt from all the problems and I just want to pick on Iqbali. But I'm saying he showed that he wanted just the expert to come in and take over and just run it the way they think is right. And then he'll just be there silent in the back watching. Iqbal is the guy that was too interested in making money, player sales, looking, all the little micromanaging, this and that. That's him, bro. And then he got the two Muppets underneath him that are essentially his two little dogs that are doing exactly what he wants them to do with no consideration. My thing is, how can a manager win you the trophies that he's won you? And I'm not acting like the Conference League is an amazing trophy, but I'm saying he's won you the Conference League. He won you the Club World Cup, which in the beginning we didn't even think we'd win it until we got into a better position. Perform the way we perform in the final. You think, you know what? Yeah, we don't need to back him. Hato is enough. You know what I'm saying? He could play left back and left centre back. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about just guessing, bro. It's all guessing, hoping that it works, spend low money. We didn't get Xavi Simons that looked like we got away with it a little bit, obviously, because he ain't performed yet, but you never know. But This is what I'm trying to say to you. There's a lot of problems, bro. A lot of problems. And I think the main ones are with the sporting directors and that owner, bro, that Iqbali guy, bro. If you don't want the club to succeed, sell your shares, bro. Whatever it's called, bro. Sell it to the Saudi Donnies that you can move it because it's within blue code. That move it somewhere else and go watch golf or something. Because I'm trying to see my club win. I'm trying to see my club win. We ain't won a league since what, 2017. We ain't won a Carabao Cup for ages. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even remember like FA Cup. I think last time we won it with who was it? With Conte or something. Like, I'm not even in a place to think, but the whole thing is just annoying. It just stinks of not knowing what these men are doing again. Do you know what I'm saying? Just as you think things are going well, they just think, nah, we just gotta take the longer way home. We just gotta do the why, man? Let me just take the incline. Then let me just go the hard way. Like, it's just simple right, left. And you decided to go miss your exit. Now you have to drive 50 miles down the road and 50 miles back. That's essentially what they done. And it's frustrating. Now, you better get a manager that's better than Maresca, bro. I'm not trying to hear no manager that's on the same level or below. Because now the players have to get used to it. Now, we have to go. We play going City. I'm still expecting him to perform against City. Players and manager, bro. So don't bring me no... I heard that the manager's not going to be on the bench and that, what, you're going to put Willy Caballero against his old team. He couldn't even do the job against, who was it the other day? It wasn't even Newcastle. It was what? It was at the home game, bro. Villa. Was it Villa when he went on the sideline? He couldn't even do the job against them. What? He's going to do the job against City? Hey, listen, man. Listen, what a way to start your new year. You know, what a way to start your new year. Yeah, sack your manager. Sack your manager, bro. This is crazy. But listen, in the meantime, big up to everyone that showed love and support. I think like we're on 975 subscribers, so we're almost at 1K. If you haven't subscribed, fellow Chels or not, subscribe to the channel, support the channel. And listen, man, I'm out.